And more, there was a lot of great resources that I can put in touch with you, all the speakers that came.
Thank you.
I think you want to think very carefully about things you can do.
I'm so sorry.
Talk to the police. I think there are things you can do to avoid the public accommodation argument they were making. Mainly include the agreement when you sign in that you're going to obey the procedures that we use for public statements and things like that.
So we have been in close contact with the chief of police throughout since we very first started, so we'll need some clarification on what exactly happened tonight. As I mentioned, in 14 months, this is the first time. So I thank everyone for being respectful, for remembering the things we learned in the nonviolent training that we had a couple weeks ago, and I will personally be having a conversation, and I'll make sure that there's something pinned to the top of the invitation for next week's event, because I think it's safe to say we will encounter these things occasionally. But I appreciate everyone being respectful and
Well, hold on. Everybody wasn't. Are you going to punish the members that assaulted that guy? Sorry, my bad. Sorry about that. I thought it was over.
Thank you for putting your chair so way
I don't want to be an asshole. I'm here trying to defend the Constitution.
Rep, I know I haven't met everyone.
I know exactly about the Constitution.
You guys are indivisible. Don't get broken down. We need to stand together, and we are moving our agenda forward, the progressive agenda. We stood up to hate today, and I will say that very proud. So please, guys, don't get deterred. Bring more people. This is the blue wave. Come on. Thank you.
So you don't want to give me an opportunity to respond or anything?
I waited patiently. No, I waited patiently for a while.
That's true, you did. Well,
Like, I
that's
literally
it.
waited for everybody to go.
Sir.
Well, thank you very much.
Sir.
Wait,
Thank you for reminding me what we're fighting for.
Thank you. We are. We're all doing the same thing. We have to practice
We're not
this.
doing the same thing.
We have to practice this. Disagreement, protest, and let it civilly.
Well, no, but that wasn't civil.
It wasn't civil because you attacked the guy. He yelled.
Don't be
He
such a
gave a
snowflake.
heckler's veto.
No,
This
no.
happens on college campuses all over the world. You don't see the college students getting assaulted. You assaulted the guy. You committed a crime. Not you, but you all, right? I saw at least 2 different people assault those guys. That's not right.
Keep telling yourself that.
What do you mean?
Keep telling yourself that.
You know that. You just have to.
No, I know exactly what I saw. I know.
Smacked me in the face with
I
the
didn't
phone.
get that, but I'll look, and I'm sorry if that happened to you.
No, I understand. You know.
I want this. This is
My
necessary.
entire life, I have fought to protect free speech, so I understand where you guys are coming from.
Well,
I
that's
respect
not
that.
really easy. I'm here.
I get it.
I might
I
know who
understand.
they are,
I understand.
but we're all individuals.
I understand.
Right? So I didn't come here and say, yeah, but I only got up when he started to get attacked, and
No,
I
I
wanted to
understand.
make sure that it didn't escalate into
Sure,
physical violence.
sure. Which is respectful.
And then,
So,
because I see, what I don't want is people en masse doing what they do in Berkeley.
Of course.
That's what gets me off the
Which I completely
And
understand.
I want to hear what he had to say. I want to know his politics. There's a big thing in the news. I mean, Dianne Feinstein didn't get the Democratic. So, there's
Well,
good
I mean,
information.
here's the other side of it. I'm willing to listen just as much as you are. So, and from my perspective, and that's how we, and that's sooner or later, that's how we figure this out. Is we have to sit down, we have to hear what everybody has to say, and we can't shut either side out. So I get it.
Right, because
I get it.
once they get through with that demographic, they're going to do what they did to my mom. I would have been interned,
Sure.
60, 70 years ago.
Sure.
And that's something we have to be able to manage this.
Are you Japanese American?
Yeah, my mom, well, I'm American.
Yeah,
my
but
mom was Japanese
of course,
heritage,
of
because
course.
my mom was on the label, and so I kind of carry that.
Oh, my mom's Vietnam, so I mean,
Okay, so
believe me,
yeah,
I hear you.
exactly.
I hear you. I
She
get it.
had to carry World War II, Vietnam, and Korea, just like my mom did. I saw, but because I have a different book cover, I watched it.
Sure.
And I, as much as I could, tried to stand up
Sure.
in the way of violence, or just
Well, and
whatever.
on top of that, we live in a country where we have the freedom to do that, and that's what's amazing about this.
Well, we don't.
On either side.
Not in the Bay Area anymore. The Moore guy got fired. The Antifa dudes physically hurt. I got attacked. I asked the Antifa their name. I got attacked on them. I want to practice this good stuff, and then when a couple people have them do their thing, and then
As long as
it's
it's about conversations, then it's fine.
well, That's true, but at the same time, there's a cultural issue as far as the free speech and his volume and stuff. Like, you can't mention just because he yells at it.
Well, I mean,
We can negotiate and have him lower as well.
one of the biggest things that I've learned my entire life. I'm a journalism major. I'm also a political science
Well, I'm
major.
an engineer, so I try to fix stuff.
So especially with the other side of it, with the freedom of speech argument, for example, which is a totally valid argument, but there are stipulations within the First Amendment that protect someone's right to speak without civil unrest.
No, that's not true.
Absolutely, there is.
No.
Yeah.
All right, see you.
But yeah.
All right.
I'm glad to have the conversation.
And I am too. I think we're fighting for the same thing. I don't want people to have the same ideology as me. I want to be able to have a marketplace of ideas.
And we have a group. Did you talk about the living room conversation?
I can give you my email address.
We have a group that
Well,
is trying to bridge the
I want to get a comment from this guy from Ben. So
Well, I'd love to have
it's TAI Decker at gmail.com. And I'm local. I grew up in Sunnyvale. I was ASB president for my high school. And then we'll get, I'll come down here. We can chat. I mean, we're all doing the same thing. I don't want people to have my same ideology. I want to be able to disagree.
Sure.
Even, get up and...
But respectfully disagree and have an argument. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Sure. Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Hey,
Not
take
here.
care, you guys. Good luck. It was a good event, I thought, for a while. I'm good. Thank you, officers.
We gotta go. We gotta go.
Just a second. Okay, guys, look. This is not my team, but he's a good guy.
I'm Ben. Sorry.
Nice to meet you, Ben.
So I got no problem with the people that are in there. I had a problem with the guy on the stage.
He came to our farmers market booths all the time and debated during Trump's
Nice,
campaign.
nice.
He can witness that we were not aggressive and rude.
Yeah, no,
And so we had a lot of open dialogue.
that can get out.
He is somebody that we might want to start.
Exactly how
typically I come to dialogue.
Thank you, by the way.
I got
Yeah,
stitches.
which is what I wanted to ask.
I got stitches in Berkeley for dialoguing, and so
throughout the entire. Dialoguing in big groups
Even
is hard.
respectful.
So what I was going to say is, there's a woman here that started. Not started, but is moving what's called living room conversation over to this part of Campbell and San Jose.
Are we welcome?
Yeah. So the point is to get people that it's not a debate. It's a let's come and listen to each other. And so it's usually takes every somebody will set up their home and it'll be like over a meal with a special prompt. And there'll be ground rules like don't interrupt each other.
Yeah, and we don't. We don't.
I typically don't.
This is the first time really.
We don't want
This guy is so. I've tried to get him in the Capitol to talk to him for years, and the guy skips out on everything.
And they're not even from here. They came here to catch
But we
up.
also
They're from LA.
All I did was
And I just found out. Had I known, I would have been here sooner.
only
Anyways, no.
That was my thing. Is this guy
your
never
opinion,
gets
though,
called out,
right? And you're
I
entitled
believe
to that.
That's it.
When you
Right.
protect,
So,
but
Guys, can you all do me a favor? I just want to make
Yeah,
sure
thank you.
everyone has
Thank you,
plenty of room
officer.
to get out.
Thanks, officer. Thank you guys for being
So
out
I
here. Thank you
actually
for being
debated
on the
on
front line.
not saying
Confusing
anything.
must have been to walk in here.
Because
Cheers.
again, like I had a really good conversation with a guy named Stanley beforehand, and we're going, it's just I am all for that. I want to have the dialogue with people that are willing to have the dialogue. So
Yeah, where it's appropriate is always hard.
yeah.
Well, in a public forum, it has to always be appropriate. That's the problem. That's how. What's
Yeah,
not
I mean,
appropriate is the violence.
You do make ground rules when you step into a place that's a public forum that if you wanted
Of
to
course.
if
It's
you wanted
rude.
to offer questions
Okay,
prior to
yeah, we can classify it as rude, but is it legal and is it appropriate?
Right,
Being
but you-
appropriate because you have somebody here who is running for a federal office who doesn't want to enforce federal laws. That is sedition.
Yeah. At minimum.
At
I'd say it's treason.
I mean,
Well,
there are
It's
specific
he
instances where
specifically does not want to
it
enforce
is the
federal laws, and he
definition
wants
of
to be a
sedition.
right.
And I would say it's even a step further.
That's what we're concerned about. Is we're letting these emotional engineers
I guess
delude people into thinking that it's okay to only enforce certain laws. We want to enforce all of them.
Yeah. And if you don't like the laws, you change
Yeah,
the
you
laws.
change them.
You don't
Through a republic
willy-nilly
process.
say we're not going to follow these
Right,
laws.
because my feelings are hurt, or I'm going to put my children up front there and only put the one person who was at CNN. You put the other three people up there. So
and
you
there
can't
is
attack
a difference between where
you know
the
that David
federal
Hogg dude. I mean, come on,
government
sketch.
has power
Authority.
and where
Yeah.
the state has
Right.
power, and that line is not something that me as an engineer ever discusses. Right?
Well,
that is
so
the way lawyers
immigration,
right.
the
No,
federal
that's-
government has 100% control
There's
over
no such
immigration.
thing as
Right, I
Yeah,
know,
so there's no-
but what the state does to
We're
assist
citizens. We're all equal.
the
We're
federal
peers.
government is not the same, right?
Yeah,
so
but when
where
they
the line is drawn,
when they
Well,
intentionally
the federal
obstruct
government has
and
superior-
undermine,
it's a superiority
I mean, when they
clause.
say we're resisting the federal government,
Right,
when
they're
they're
breaking the law.
undermining the federal government, that's breaking the law.
Right, that's sedition.
It is.
it depends if the
That's
government asks you to do something that is against the law
Right. No, but
because
it's
of where the
true.
state
True.
line is and where states' rights are,
Right,
then
but-
you shouldn't
but
do
you
it.
know,
absolutely,
You know,
but
you
this
know
is
who has
not-
control over the borders? The President of the United States, not the state. They are literally
Yes.
breaking federal law and breaking, and they
I
should
mean,
be
that,
prosecuted on conspiracy.
I would agree if the
I can make the
if the
argument,
governor
let's
of
just say that.
California went down and he opened up the border and said, "Come on in,"
Which is
What
what
do you
he's
think's
doing.
happening?
but it's very different. If you were to look at the legislation,
Blessings on you.
Elections are not a legitimate.
Blessings on you. Donald Trump is your
we can
president.
talk about that as well. But if we
Yeah.
say,
law.
7 more years. Don't you worry.
Can I give you my card?
yeah,
appreciate
because
your-
I would
I
like
was
to get
impressed
you
with
guys
what you
involved
said. I'm
in
not-
this living room conversation.
Yeah,
I
and
gave my- I
I
gave
think
my
that'd be
number
cool.
You guys aren't.
didn't
I
get
can't
the-
make it very often, but I'd like to.
I'm just gonna get the guy's name real quick. I give my email address to registered it. I didn't get your name. I was in
Lamb.
Lamb?
Yeah, Lamb, yeah.
Nice to meet you, Lamb.
You and lies. I used to work for the assembly. This guy is a piece of garbage. He doesn't deserve the office he has now, much less a higher office. So, anyways, again,
That's his
I
opinion.
know you don't necessarily agree with
Hey,
that.
by the
but
way, Lamb has my email address, so if you want, we can.
Okay.
I'm on. So my
Social
social
media.
media.
What's that?
Are you local?
I grew up in Sunnyvale, but I'm up in the East Bay because that's where most of the civil rights are being deprived. And
Okay.
so I put myself at risk to try to.
He's with my group,
Yeah.
Frontline America. So if you want to follow us, it's on. We're on Facebook.
We're just
Frontline America.
citizens.
And you should.
We defend the
Yeah, we're
Constitution.
citizen
That's all.
You can
journalists.
just listen. You can fast forward the crap you don't want to hear. But seriously, check it out because it's our perspective and it's very peaceful. There is no hate in anything these guys spew. I mean,
I do
sure.
believe in self-defense.
100%. So do
E
I.
pluribus unum. See, I don't want to
so do
exclude
you.
everybody.
You're a
My
chick.
concern is they
It's gotta
want
be.
to exclude.
Sorry, I didn't mean to mess you up your. Yeah.
And I'm not.
So-
You had a great speech. I really was impressed with it.
Oh,
Did you speak
or-
afterwards?
Yeah, he did speak.
I'm working locally on a public bank. And that's kind of the transition now.
okay.
So what happens, why we continually have to raise taxes on a local level is that the taxes that we pay to the city of San Jose, for example, then go to Wells Fargo, and
Hold
Wells
on. The
Fargo.
taxes don't go to Wells Fargo, right?
That's where the city holds it,
Oh,
Oh, gotcha.
right?
My bad.
Because the city doesn't have a bank, right? So
Of course.
when they do
My bad. I
that,
interrupted.
Wells Fargo then has the money, and Wells Fargo lends that money out to small businesses. But Wells Fargo will usually charge 6 to 8%.
Right.
Right? If you go to Wells Fargo, you want to start a business, and you pull out a loan, that's what they're going to charge you. So they're taking our tax dollars and making 6% off of it, and then
So
hindering.
you're a proponent of community banking.
Right. So
That's
so
awesome.
then
dude. That's
See,
that's
what
exactly
I'm trying to tell you.
right. We're
I'm
other
not
saying
even kidding,
like,
guys.
it's the community
We
banking that's getting
are
choked
so
by these
much
monopolies.
closer.
So it,
Well, and that
Wait, I was
Dodd-Frank
telling
actually
somebody else.
helps
Right.
the big banks.
Right.
It does.
It undermines the little banks.
Right.
That's what I'm telling
So-
you guys. If we mixed with some of
There's
these,
a lot. There's a lot that we can.
because
that
you're
we agree
Green
on.
Party, right? Is
Yeah.
that what you are? Yeah, and I know that we don't,
I'm independent.
follow
I
the
believe
Green
that.
Party.
But I'll join
we're
whatever
stewards
party
of
that I need
God has
to
called us be
defend
stewards
the
of planet.
Constitution. So
now there may be differences that we agree. Like, I believe in industry as well. So there's a balance. I live in the Central Valley. Radical environmentalism has destroyed agriculture, from my perspective, because of Delta Smelt. We're a
Disingenuous.
non-native. Yeah, I think we should
Disingenuous.
look at all the situations and say, what are the problems? What are the potential solutions? What's the best solution? Versus, hey, screw you guys. We're going to screw you and demonize you
Right.
and shut
Right.
you down just because
and
we don't
then
like
let
you.
illegal aliens
Take it all.
take
And you do
the
know
resources that we might have used to build another aqueduct.
You
for
do know
example,
that Ben
for Central
Carson did
California.
an audit on that housing and urban development and found $500 billion in accounting errors. You know that, right?
Okay.
I don't think they have that much in the budget.
Hey, thank you guys. Oh, I'm sorry. Hey, what's your first name?
Go check it.
But
You
there's
leaving?
accounting areas.
What's your first name?
Jake.
Jake Lamb has my email. If
We
you
really
guys
are
wanna
going to
get in
do
touch.
the community
Thanks,
bank.
guys.
All right.
See ya. Thank
Bless
you.
you, Jake.
I'll see you guys again.
Okay.
Bye, Ty.
Oh, sorry. Say
Oh, wait, hey, you guys. Don't go yet. Hold on one second. I want to give you guys my card just because I want, for multiple reasons.
We
but
need a picture, though, too.
I don't want any more of you guys.
Yeah. You can get out of here.
Okay, listen. All I'm trying to say.
I'm just-
we have
Hang
a
on.
lot
Real
more.
quick. Picture.
And so that's it. Connect with me.
Yeah.